Hello and welcome to On the Wrist. Today I want to go over 6 things I learned in my first year of watch collecting. These are things that, I don't want to say they're mistakes I made, but they're definitely things I learned and have changed how I approach watch collecting, and I wanted to share them with you. So let's get right into it. Before we get started, a quick wristwatch check. Today I'm wearing my Formex Essence in blue. This is the 43mm diameter version. I just released a review video of this, link in the description as well as above. Really great watch. Love the horizontal CNC lines as well as all the brushed finishing. So as I said before, this is more of lessons learned, not really mistakes, because I don't want to say they're mistakes. They're things that sometimes you have to go through to learn. And the first on the list really isn't so much a lesson learned or a tip. I feel like it shouldn't even need to be said, but obviously your opinion is what matters most. You're the one who's going to be wearing the watch on your wrist, so don't let what others say change your opinion. You can certainly go to others for additional information, get a wider breadth of information, but ultimately you're the one wearing the watch, so as long as the watch makes you happy, it's the correct watch for you. Number 2. This is a common one I see in these types of videos, which I disagree with it being a mistake, but trying to check all the boxes. Now what I mean by that is when you start watch collecting, you see, oh, there's chronographs, there's divers, there's dress watches, there's all sorts of different types of watches. And as a watch collector, I know I felt a little pressure. I need to have one of each. That's not necessarily true. And going to spend your money on the first chronograph or the first diver that comes across your way is probably not a great way to spend your resources. However, I do think it's really important to at least handle the different types of watches. That way you understand more what you like and what you actually enjoy wearing. I know, for example, my first watch, my Linear Minimalist, was a watch that I really loved for a long time. But it was a dress watch. It was the first watch I ever really purchased, so I didn't really have a good appreciation for what I would be wearing daily. And after having it for about a year, I actually sold it because I didn't really wear dress watches all that much. Instead, I find I wear a lot more divers, chronographs, a little more casual watches where I don't really have reason to get dressed up as much anymore. Oh, real quick, I want to check what time it is. It looks like it's time to like and subscribe. I make these videos because I enjoy doing it, but I also want to know that you enjoy them as well. So I'd really appreciate if you were to like and subscribe. It helps direct what kind of content I make and really helps motivate me to make more videos. So if you're enjoying it, please like and subscribe. Thank you. Lesson 2. This is one that took me quite a while to get over, but actually going to a jeweler. Now, when I first started, I thought going to a jeweler was a little weird. I wasn't going to buy one of the high-end watches they had there. I felt awkward about trying stuff on and not buying stuff. That's what they're there for. They're there to let you try on things in the hope that you find something you like too much to not buy on the spot. Now, jewelers are a great resource because they typically have tons of different watches, different brands. Some may even have used or lightly pre-owned watches that can be an even better deal. Some tips: always be kind and courteous. Yes, they're there to let you try watches on, but that doesn't mean you should be rude. It doesn't mean you should be entitled. As long as you're kind, a good guest, they're likely to help you and let you try stuff on, even if they don't think you're going to buy it, right? Because you might not be buying it today, but in a couple months or a year or two, you might say, I really liked that watch. Let's go back and see if it's there. So as long as you're a kind and gracious guest there, they're likely to help you. And a lot of them are watch nerds too. If they specialize in watches, this jewelry store, the person selling the watches is probably going to be very interested as well. So if you can talk shop with them, that's something that might help you build a better relationship with the jeweler. Also, one thing to note, not all jewelers are the same. Some jewelers I know operate off commission. So that means that they only make money when they sell a watch, the person actually working the counter. Other stores have their employees on salary, so they're not commission based, so they're not as pressured to make a sale, and they can be a little more lenient on margins for prices. Personally, if you could find a store that will admit that they are not commission-based, that's a really great store to be at. I know one of my local stores doesn't do commission, and I almost always shop there if I'm just browsing, seeing what they have. They have pre-owned watches as well. So it's always a good time walking around, just talking with the employees there. And even though I don't buy a lot from their store, I still enjoy going, and I hope they enjoy when I come by, because I can talk with watches, and I have bought a watch from them in the past, so there's not a non-zero chance that they're going to walk away with, or I guess I'll walk away and they'll have a bunch of my money. Tip 3, learn your fit. So this is one where actually this Formex Essence I'm wearing, I purchased this sight unseen. Now, that was kind of a terrifying event, but over the course of my watch collecting, I've learned what size watch and what sort of shape fits my wrist best. So for example, the Formex has a 43mm diameter and 10mm thickness. It also has a tight lug-to-lug of 49. I know that that will fit on my wrist thanks to my Seiko dive watch. So because I knew that fit, I was able to purchase something online without actually trying it on first. So figuring out what your comfortable fit is a really great way to open up your options to a lot of different micro brands that aren't going to be in stores. You're not going to be able to try them on, but knowing your fit really helps narrow down the risk of buying something and not having it work out. Tip number 5, join a forum. So I've, in the semi-recent past, joined a forum called Watch You Seek. Now this is an online forum, bunch of watch nerds getting together and just talking about watches. It's a great resource for finding new information, different types of brands. They have a what are you wearing section where every day members will post pictures of their watch that they're wearing that day, which is a really great way to find new brands, new types of watches, and just get more information. You know, it's a really good resource to find out technical information as well as sort of industry related news, and you can get watch videos or watch review videos from there and all sorts of good information. Now, as a caution, there's also bad information, right? Watches are very opinionated, or people are very opinionated about their watches, and that definitely comes out on the forum. They're definitely forum favorites, cough cough Rolex. But if you take it with the first lesson of this, don't worry about anyone's opinion. It's a good place to find new information as long as you can sift through a lot of very opinionated folk online. 6. Now this is I think one of the most important things I've learned. It kind of pairs with the last item. Buying used. Buying used is a really great way to save a lot of money as well as broaden what you can purchase. So for example, the last 2 watches I've purchased have been used through the forum Watch You Seek. Both of the watches I purchased were near new condition, but I got them at a significant discount. Watches aren't a perishable good. They're metal, right? So you can buy used with a fairly high degree of confidence as long as you go through the proper channels. For example, Watch You Seek has a very strong reputation system where when you purchase a watch, there's a feedback section where members will comment on how the transaction went, if the watch they received was in the proper condition as advertised, and it's very clear who are good and bad sellers as well as good and bad buyers. So there's a lot of feedback and reputation built into that forum, and frequently members selling it have been there 5-6 years and have 30 plus positive transactions. You can find a lot of people who buy a watch, wear it once or twice and decide it doesn't fit, and then they try and flip it on the forum. So it's a really great way to save some money. It saves you from taking the depreciation hit when you buy it new. Also, a benefit of buying used is sometimes you get additional straps or additional things. Like for example, I recently bought a Chris Ward C60 Sapphire, review coming soon. And it came with the bracelet as well as the hybrid strap, which would have cost an additional about $100 to purchase separately, but I got the watch with that strap for significantly less than even the watch would have been new. So I can't recommend buying used enough. It's a really great way to save, and even more budget watches like Seikos or G-Shocks, those are everywhere on eBay and on these watch forums. All right, well those are the 6 things that I learned in my first year of watch collecting. As I said, some people might call them mistakes. I just want to call them lessons learned. Things that now going forwards really impact the way I look for watches and research watches, and I hope giving you that information helps you on your watch collecting journey. So thank you for watching. This has been On The Wrist. Have a great day.